Welcome to Charts Today. Today's edition for Thursday, the 20th of October, comes to you from Milan in Italy. And we start by looking at the dollar index. Dollar still showing that strength there. We see here the daily candles. We've had a little bit of sideways consolidation that's showing through here on the 60-minute chart, but now ticking back up again. So dollar strength really kicking in, and that's quite key. And if we take a look at the euro, interesting. The euro is now back below this 110 level, 109.60 this morning. Bearish on the weekly, bearish on the daily, testing this July low now, and that's looking bearish as well. And we've talked about these medium downside targets. No clear, very short-term targets. Go to your 1-minute chart to see the action taking place through the day. If we look at sterling, sterling has actually recovered a little bit, but it's now just flattened, so it's struggling to hold this 123 level. And if we're back below this 2230 level, then we're back into bearish territory on sterling. We failed to activate this upside target as of yet, so still downward pressure, and of course the long-term and medium-term pressure is very much there. If we look at sterling against the euro, we see it's holding up a little bit better than the dollar. That's reflecting the weakness in the euro that we're seeing. Taking a look at stock markets, the S&P 500 index is the next thing for us to look at, and we're now sort of nudging back into this 2140s area. We haven't quite made it back through the cloud here yet, but we're starting to see some upside targets kicking in. 2202. Certainly a break of 2200 would be very bullish for the market, and we really do need to break out of this 2120, 2180 range. But we are starting to see some strength coming back into the market. Nasdaq didn't hold on to its gains last night and closed just slightly below where it opened, but we are again just seeing this wandering out of the cloud and upside targets here as well. So market's actually looking relatively better. If we take a look at the FTSE 100 in the UK, we see with the FTSE that we are bullish above the cloud on the long and medium term, and we're just starting to test the cloud here, so we have had some short-term weakness, so that's quite key as well. Nothing much happening in Asian markets overnight. The big story last night was Brent crude, or crude oil breaking the summer highs, and we did see Brent touching the 53 level. It has pulled back a little bit. We do have now upside targets of 55 and 53.20. Didn't quite get there, and we have a new little downside target. So it's not a given that Brent's changing trend here in the long term, but it's certainly bucking the seasonal trend where it normally falls at this time of year. And if we look at WTI, much the same picture there as well, of course, just pulling back a little bit here. But 55.82 on WTI, that's an 8% upside. So at the moment, we can't deny that oil is in a bullish phase in the short term. If we look at nat gas, again, just still below the cloud here on the short-term chart. So we are just seeing some short-term weakness kicking in, but the long and medium-term chart's still looking fabulous. Not much action in softs at the moment, but if we take a look at gold, the gold chart, certainly just bullish above the cloud here, and that 1296 target 2% upside is activated, so we're starting to see gold coming back a bit. We're in short-term bullish now, still in medium-term bearish with that recent sell-off, but that's quite key. Looking at US interest rates, one of the interesting factors is just the 10-year note. We are seeing on the 10-year bond, we are bearish on the cloud, but we are just starting to see these short-term targets, 178, kicking in. Some bellwethers. Apple last night fell back, so we saw that. If you look at Google, bullish on all fronts here. Google, very bullish chart, a 3% upside to 824 here on the chart. So Google looking very bullish. Amazon didn't do very much, but again, Facebook up over 1% last night, and that's really quite interesting. And we see here a lot of new short-term upside targets kicking in back into bullish territory in the short term. So some of these stocks now are really starting to look quite promising. That's it for today. Until tomorrow back in London, happy charting. See you then.